Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back in the flesh. Happy Wednesday. We are here with a movie review. We are here to talk about the 2007 American psychological horror film based on Stephen King's 1999 short story 1408. We have 1408. This is a really interesting, crazy kind of concept. And yeah, it's wild. Of course, it centers around an author. You know, Stephen King likes to make relatable pieces towards other authors. We're going to talk about it for a little bit, talk about exactly what happened. This is a full spoiler. It's not like there's that many plot twists. I guess there kind of are. It is a pretty trippy movie. And then we're going to talk about what people think, what I think. You guys know how movie reviews go on the channel. Let's get into it. So the plot follows Mike Ensling, who is a cynical and skeptical author of niche books about supernatural events in which he has no belief. He doesn't actually believe in what happens in these. He just wants to make books for shock value. He wants to make a movie off of it, which is what we would probably call culture vulture, but I don't know, I guess he takes a lot of risk with his job. So, while promoting his latest book in Hermosa Beach, California, he receives an anonymous postcard depicting the Dolphin, a hotel on Lexington Avenue in New York City, bearing the message, "Don't enter 1408." And that sounds like a challenge. That's why the movie's called 1408, because that is the room in this hotel that this movie, the vast majority of the time, takes place in. So, yeah, viewing this as a challenge as an author, he has to pick it up. He travels to the Dolphin and requests room 1408, which has pretty much been shut down. Like, they don't let anyone go in this room anymore because too much bad shit happens. So the hotel manager, Gerald Owen, attempts to discourage him. Like, look, this room has terrible history. It's super cursed. Don't go in here. Yeah, the hotel. I mean, invites you to stay in any of its stunning rooms except for one, and this is the one, and Ensling takes it as a challenge. So he explains to Mike that in the last 95 years, no one has lasted more than an hour inside of 1408. The latest count is 56 deaths. Anytime someone requests to stay in the room, which I don't know why they would keep letting people stay in the room. It's not like, oh no, you can't stay in this room. It's not like normal people would be like, well, come on, this is a challenge. Let me stay in this room. Like, they're not authors like John Cusack's character here. I don't know how to say his name. Is it Cusack? I know he's been in a lot of movies, but yeah. So Olin repeatedly and impassionately attempts to dissuade and even bribe Mike, but at Mike's insistence and threat of legal action against the hotel, preparations are reluctantly made. They clean out the room pretty much. They do like a little clean every month, once a month, and yeah. Sorry if I'm like losing my words here, not able to speak. I'm pretty fucking tired. Uh, but yeah, he's like, oh, I'll give you the whole book about. I'll give you all the files about everybody's stay here, all the history. You could write a book on that. And obviously, he knows him as an author, which is kind of weird because when he did his meet and greet, it wasn't like a lot of people showed up. But while Mike describes the room's boring appearance and absence of supernatural behavior on his mini cassette recorder as the banality of evil, the clock radio suddenly starts playing the Carpenter's "We've Only Just Begun," and the digital display changes to a countdown starting from 60 minutes, so an hour, which is a reference to what Samuel L. Jackson's character Olin was talking about. So, yeah, that's why it's like literally just an hour, because this room has these like haunted spirits. It's so weird. I don't even know how to explain it. But yeah, he's talking on his mini cassette so he could like make a book out of it, obviously. So Mike begins to see ghosts of the room's past victims, seeing visions, kind of hallucinating, starting to kind of go insane, along with flashbacks of his deceased daughter Katie and his terminally ill father. So he gets a lot of, well, kind of a peek into his subconscious. Like, it's really fucking weird. That's what he like explains it as later on, like a peek into my subconscious, I guess. But Mike makes numerous attempts to leave the room, all in vain. As the temperature in the room starts to rapidly increase, Mike uses his laptop to contact his estranged wife Lily and ask for help. Send help. Yeah, I'm trapped. I can't get out. No one's gonna come check on me because this room is cursed. And I know what I signed up for, I guess, or maybe did it. But yeah, The heat activates the sprinkler system, short-circuiting the laptop, which starts to work again when the temperature drops to sub-zero. Even though that doesn't really make sense because I don't think a lot of electronics can really operate in sub-zero temperatures, but this movie is super fantastical, like super fake, very fictional. So I guess there's a lot of plot convenience there. A doppelganger of Mike appears in a video chat window, urging Lily to come to the hotel room herself and giving Mike a sly wink. Oh, it's just fucking crazy. This is just some like weird, like godly power. I don't know. It's strange. So the room starts to shake violently, causing Mike to crash into the picture of a ship in the storm from which, or of a ship in a Jesus. Crash into a picture of a ship in a storm from which water floods the room. So these pictures are like coming to life. It's a wild experience. This is a crazy viewing experience. And I put this in the thumbnail. This is horror's version of Inception. That's literally the best way to explain this movie. And the way they directed it, the cinematography, the special effects were dope. They were done to a T. I think they were great. So he finds himself reliving a surfing accident from before he entered the room, and that's funny because recovering in the hospital, he reconciles with Lily and assumes his experience in 1408 was just a nightmare. Lily encourages him to write a book about it. When you have dreams like this, or when you're a creative, when you're a writer like this, you probably should write about it. Like, because this would make for a wild story. This would make for a pretty crazy thing that could push him into the mainstream even more. So, when visiting the post office to send the manuscript to his publisher, he recognizes members of a construction crew as Dolphin Hotel staff, who start destroying the walls, revealing that Mike is still trapped inside 1408. So just what a trippy, it's kind of like a plot twist, but it's just super trippy. The devices, the special effects, it's crazy how everything kind of comes together for this film. Katie's ghost confronts him, and when the countdown ends, the room restores itself and the clock radio resets to 60 minutes, an hour where he will pretty much relive everything once again. So he's pretty much in this endless cycle, which is crazy because it's probably only an hour in real time. So that probably felt like an eternity to him. So a female voice calling herself hotel operator calls Mike. Mike asks why he has not been killed yet, and she informs him that guests enjoy free will. He can relive the past hour over and over again, or use their express checkout system. This where it just gets weird. A hangman's noose appears, but he refuses to give in. This is like, do you want to fucking kill yourself? Like, this is pretty much express checkout. Like, quickly. You want to get out of this? Fucking hang yourself. So, Mike improvises a Molotov cocktail and sets the room on fire, deciding to burn himself to death and maybe take the room down with him so people don't have to experience this again. I don't know why he did this. He then lies down and laughs in victory upon destroying the room. The hotel is evacuated, and Olin, in his office, praises Mike for his actions, burning the room down, risking your life. I think he died. I don't really know. There's a lot of endings. There's 4 endings to the film. There's other alternative endings on like the director's cut and stuff, but let's just get into what actually happened. So the default ending, the theatrical release, in the release on DVD, I watched this on Amazon Prime, so this is the ending on Amazon Prime. So Mike survives and reconciles with Lily, though Lily is skeptical of his experience. She finds a box of Mike's possessions that were rescued from 1408, and Mike takes the damaged mini cassette recorder from it, saying, sometimes you can't get rid of bad memories, you've just got to live with them. And that's kind of like the whole theme. That's kind of maybe something we learn out of this movie. Mike briefly tampers with the recorder, making it work again, even though it's like slightly melted from the fire. Suddenly, they both hear Katie's voice coming from it, confirming Mike's account. When he told her in the hospital, I heard her, I saw her. I think they died. She died or something. I don't know what the hell happened to their daughter. They didn't do a great job at explaining that. I guess she was like ill in the hospital. She like had undergone a surgery for something and didn't successfully make it out. I don't know. An alternative version of this ending has the same events, but Lily doesn't acknowledge hearing Katie's voice on the tape, and only Mike's reaction is shown, which would be maybe better. I think that would like kind of add to the trippy effect of the film and like him kind of hallucinating. Sorry for the background noise, by the way. I have other people in this room. I'm fine with it. But let's just get into the review. Kind of talk about this a little bit. Yeah. So getting into the kind of the review, I do really like this. I think it's a great movie, relying on psychological tension rather than overt violence and gore. 1408 is a genuinely creepy thriller with a strong lead performance by John Cusack. Yeah, he did great. Kind of conveying all the emotions needed in a film like this. It's great. I would say it's a B to A movie. I think it's fantastic. Really, really good. It's one of the best horror films of its time for sure. Cusack's performance was great. I mean, this is John Cusack's movie to carry, and he has no problem taking it where it needs to go. The film reminds us what it's like to be scared in a theater rather than overwhelmed by buckets of blood and gore. Like, this was I don't think it was like a genuine terrifying experience. I wasn't like shitting bricks watching this movie, but there were still some very scary moments. It was quite like worrisome, like for the character as you're watching this. Like, holy shit, what are you doing? Um, it would have been wild watching this in the theater. I mean, it's far superior to it's a lot more superior to other adaptations of Stephen King novels and stories. I love other film adaptations, but this one takes the cake over a lot of them, I think. I would say it probably has the edge. Maybe Pet Cemetery. I think that's it, honestly. I like this better than a lot of Stephen King's film adaptations. Or, yeah, film adaptations of his book, maybe I should say. It's one of the good Stephen King adaptations, one that maintains its author's sly sense of humor and satiric view of human nature, and more genuinely scary movie than most horror films. It's pretty fucking creepy. Like, some of the shit that happens here, it's like, holy fuck. Um, a lot of people find the film underwhelming, though. I guess we can talk about some negatives. Uh, it's a lot of consonants and no vowels seen by a lot of people. The Shining is a similar King adaptation, I guess, to this. 1408 lacked that film's lunging horror and dramatic architecture. Some people say it does kind of lack horror. I guess I could agree to an extent. It conjures a wonderful anticipatory mood of dread in the first 30 minutes and blows it to stylish smithereens. Maybe they focus too much on special effects over making an actual film. I don't know. I don't know if I would agree with that. It's kind of a predictable hit and miss production, I guess. I don't know. Even as haunted Hotel King movies go, 1408 is certainly no Shining, not even the TV movie version. So it is also a short book, short story. So it's not like you have a whole fucking book to make a movie based off of. There was a lot of creativeness that kind of went into this film. I guess people should probably keep that in mind, but I guess they don't. I don't know. I think it's really good, though. I think it's quite well done. Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson are almost the perfect characters to put in a movie like this. It's just so trippy. It's just so wild. Takes you on a journey. Um, yeah, it's a dope viewing experience. I don't care if the special effects can drown out horror at times. It's still aesthetically pleasing. It gives you kind of the vibes like a Marvel movie. It's just so grand and like all the stuff that happens and all the effects and whatnot. But yeah, that is going to do it for me, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tomorrow we are going to be reviewing the 2020 film Anything for Jackson. I've never really heard of this film before. I don't even know if I've heard of 1408. There's so many books that Stephen King has wrote that are put into movies that I've never heard of. So that's also interesting. We're kind of diving further into the world of Stephen King, which I think is great. But yeah, I'm going to put these clips together, post them for you guys. I got a little bit of homework to do today, but should be a solid day. I'm out, guys. Peace.